A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if you have any appetite left for wise words, but it's my duty and also my pleasure to be addressing this gathering of very distinguished veterans and experts of the energy sector. I think my fellow distinguished speakers who've spoken before me have highlighted the importance of energy. And I would say that at the moment, it's a moment of reckoning for the hydrocarbon sector. It is not without reason that I think the hydrocarbons have been rated as the backbone of the entire energy paradigm that has seen the progress of mankind in an unprecedented way over the last century and a half, I should say. And the fulcrum of activity or the igniting force of activity, literally the igniting force, which brought about the Industrial Revolution and then the economic revolution across the world, and I would say also the integration of different civilizations in the world which were prospering in their own way, has been the hydrocarbon sector, or the coal sector. In short, a family which cannot do without carbon. The basic structure of, I think, all material on earth is carbon. It's the building block along which we are there. It has, of course, in recent years, as this event also, which has graduated from a Petrocoal Congress also to a World Hydrogen Summit, is again the first element of the periodic table, which is proving to be the cleanest source of work, I would say. We've harnessed sunlight, we've harnessed wind to produce electricity. But for propulsion, I think there is no substitute for oil, gas, and hydrogen. But being at the crossroads sometime of a huge technology revolution, you sometimes get confused when you see the signals of global warming, climate change, a lot of which is attributed to the substances that we talk about in this conference. But the fact remains that without these substances, we would not have attained this degree of progress. It is up to us how to use that energy in a clean and efficient way. That is part of the use of any economic commodity. Too much money can be a spoiler. Too much energy can be a spoiler. But there is no progress without either of them. And the solution lies in using these resources gainfully. When we come at the crossroads, I think there's one beautiful quote that I came across last week, and that is that sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. And I think it's in this leap of faith that we are living, that yes, mankind will rescue itself through wise activity and a wise use and a balance of resources. If we push ourselves beyond the frontiers, in the NCR in which we are meeting today, I just read that the highest concentration of ozone, probably some of the other pollutants, in the entire country is the city of Gurgaon, where I spend most of my time. And I've been wondering, why is it so? But today, while caught in almost the ritualistic traffic jam between Gurgaon and Delhi, I thought maybe the totally inefficient handling of traffic on that route and the wasteful use of hydrocarbons is probably a major contributor to this concern. These are all resources which we have to use wisely, as I mentioned, use them efficiently. Coal, as I mentioned, has been the backbone of power generation in the two greatest countries of the world today, I would say. In fact, I would even add a third to it, and that is the United States, which is the richest. India and China. These are two huge civilizations which have woken up only in the last 50 years. Now, these two economies are running, I would say, on coal. And our biggest imports of a country like India are hydrocarbons. The good news is that the volatility of these substances has subsided. Oil and gas prices internationally seem to have fallen. I think after hitting almost a century figure, we're down to about $60. And I was talking to Mr. Taneja, an old friend. He's with the Oxford Institute of Energy Studies now. And I had the occasion to work there while working on energy and sustainable development in 1994-95. And that time, if I recollect, oil was only hovering around just about double digits in dollar terms. Just about double digits. And we took a 10 times leap in these 20, 30 years, you might say. Stability in prices can only come from stability of supply. And many of the doyens today whom we've honored are those who have tried to ensure the stability of supply of these commodities, whether it is coal or it is hydrocarbons. And what gave me greater pleasure today was that in this Shakti, probably for the first time in many years, we were honoring a Nari Shakti, which is Shakti to the power of 2. It's been the Shakti of the civilization, and now we have a Shakti in our hydrocarbon sector. It's only a lady, I think, who can see a problem more holistically, because she is the ruler of the home, and also when she gets to see the outside world, that's I'm talking to all the Naris of the energy sector, that you can take a very balanced view and a very firm view. And I look forward to this force growing in the country. I have repeated on this forum earlier also that this age is the age of the chemical engineer. When you've got to split molecules into more useful ones, segregate them, pick up the right ones, set aside the weaker ones. And just 2 days back, while attending a meeting of a trust which is honoring one of our very great chemical engineers, I was getting that thought, it's time now, let's speak of artificial intelligence very clearly. What does it imply? As has been mentioned from this very podium today, artificial intelligence and its use just cannot prosper without energy. The energy guzzling content of AI has been highlighted by Sushma ji before me. And any such activity that you do, you need energy. Now, what that artificial intelligence and its expansion will do to human jobs, human activity, is something that only the future will tell. These discoveries, these inventions, these technologies sometimes can lead to job or occupation loss, and maybe very uneven spikes in accumulation of economic wealth. Luckily, I think in the energy sector, in the various segments that we are discussing between today and tomorrow, these sectors have helped prosperity uniformly, whether it is generation of electricity or it is transportation. Electricity being the workhorse, the comfort factor of homes, the creator of more prosperous civilizations, and the petroleum and gas sector, which have made transportation, which have made the world a global village possible. It's because of these entities of energy, which in the future are not going to lessen, mind you. To tackle climate change and to be able to survive the vagaries of climate distortion, the biggest loads that are going to come, or energy surges in countries like India, is climate control load, air conditioning loads, maybe transportation loads. So the energy challenge will keep growing. If we find hydrogen as the holy grail of the future, I doubt if hydrogen production to the extent that we want is going to be possible without electrolysis. And electrolysis will not come without energy again. So those who say that energy consumption will go down, I have my very serious doubts. This energy is an essential part of existence. Even a seed needs energy to burst. It needs energy to grow. Human being is a useless biped without energy. So the event that we are meeting today and those we are honoring is really something which is very basic to human beings' future progress. This competitive race between coal, petro, gas, hydrogen for their respective shares will continue. Just as a balanced diet of a human being is composed of different elements. Similarly, I would say the energy spectrum will continue to have all these in appropriate proportions. Disproportionate use of any particular one can cause the same problems and the same discomfort. Now, what has been a problem and what will be a problem of the future, in my view, is energy control versus energy independence. Now, energy independence, luckily, is ensured by the elements of nature. The sun is going to shine, the wind is going to blow, water is there, it has to flow. This, luckily, is something which the richest people in the world cannot alter. It is a given gift of the poorest of the poor and the richest of the richest, and each cannot do without the other. But yes, the hydrocarbon field that we are talking about today essentially is something which will need control, direction, constant supervision. Because this is very largely a human-controlled activity. And this is where the thought of sharing the resources of this planet, of spending adequate and the right quantities in research, and an equitable price structure for these commodities, which, through global thought, consultations, and pressure, we have to ensure in the future. But one thing is certain, that any energy company which is not spending enough on research, development, and expansion of its activities is going to curtail its own growth. You don't need only traders in this sphere. You need innovators. You need people of courage. It is the greatest, one of the greatest, I think, givers of employment. And that is something I think we've got to constantly see, that yes, coal mining, one of the largest employers in developing countries, how can we make it more comfortable for those who are working in blistering temperatures about 40 degrees centigrade in Orissa, other such places, or those who are risking their lives for exploring the vital minerals. This is something that we who are more fortunate, or those who are the owners of industry, or more fortunate than us, have to constantly keep in mind that safety, security, economy, and wise use of these resources and development of new technologies working for the betterment of humankind will continue to gainfully employ our working hours so that we leave this planet a better planet for the future generations. I once again congratulate all the award winners of the day, and a grateful thank you from the foundation side to all of them for having given their best years for the development of these commodities and making our lives more comfortable. Thank you very much, sir, and best wishes to all of you.